Morning. Looking forward to a nice walk today. Section 3 of the London Outer Orbital Path. Sunny day, lots of open countryside, bit of urban walking. About 9 miles to go to West Wickham and Hayes Station. So let's go. This is where we left off yesterday. So let's carry on. Just cutting through a little bit of outer London suburbia on our way to the next green space. Very nice round here. Reminds me of my grandfather's house in New Southgate, North London. Okay, so that bit over. We've emerged into Sparrow Wood and Crofton Heath, and walking down one of those typical edgeland paths with the houses on our left and the countryside on our right. Not dissimilar to some of the Leicester Outer Orbital Path, I guess. And it's been raining quite a lot, so here we are going down another muddy woodland path. Right, serious mud here. It's a bit like a David Attenborough video. Trekking through the jungles of Borneo. Trekking through the jungles of Petts Wood. And here's Rabbit Tree, that we've just named it. Sure to become a landmark on this walk soon. Okay, just coming out of the wood on a nice path now, because once again we're going along the edge of some houses, and in a minute we'll be back in amongst the houses. Crofton Brook just trickling along here. "200 yards from that lovely woodland, we're on this busy road. But we're diving back into the countryside now. Here we go. Let's see where this leads. Well, not exactly countryside, more suburbia. But I guess that's what you get when you're walking around the edge of a big city like London. And to be fair, it adds variety. I love those woodlands, but it's nice to have a change. Just diving off that residential street into Darwick and Newstead Woods Nature Reserve. Suspect this might be a bit more woods. So here we are, a few more woody scenes coming up. And there we are, we suddenly emerge from the woodland into this fantastic view. Beautiful view south over High Elms Country Park. Quite hilly because we're in the foothills of the South Downs here. But what a beautiful view. So within a few feet of that lovely meadow, We have this massive road to cross. Bit of a prime ministerial theme to this estate we're walking through now, on our way to the next patch of countryside. Just walking through the edge of Farnborough here, down this very pleasant little street, towards the church of St Giles. Apparently some very important people are buried. And here we are, the graveyard of this church. It's the grave of the Gypsy King and Queen, Levi Boswell and Urania Boswell, Gypsy Lee or Rosie Lee, buried here on the London Loop. Okay, back into the woods now for a short while, down to the car park at High Elms Country Park, where hopefully we'll grab a coffee. About 4 miles from the start, so a good place for a little break, and about 6 miles to go. Here we are, coffee stop. So striking out now, lovely cup of coffee and some Marmite crisps, which I would recommend, as long as you like Marmite, that is. Through this lovely little country park, heading towards the old house. So we're in High Elms Park at the moment. The house burnt down in the 60s, but the park's still here and very nice it is too. So we're in the Clock House Community Orchard, and there's the clock tower that gives this orchard its name, I would have thought. So apparently the High Elms estate was home to the Lubbocks, a wealthy Norfolk family who built a mansion and developed the surrounding land, both for the study of nature, apparently a friend of Charles Darwin, and also the development of golf. And he developed the golf course across which we're now walking, back in the 19th century. Thanks very much. Beautiful walk you've left for posterity. Just going down the intriguingly named Bogey Lane. Here we are, a field edge, just like back home. Haven't been along one of these for a while. Just a brief escape from Bogey Lane to look out over this lovely field of what I think is barley. And here is Farthing Lane, little lane, 10 miles or so from the bustling city of London. And here we have Holwood House, which is built on the site of a former dwelling where William Pitt the Younger used to live. And before that, the house he lived in was built on the site of an Iron Age hill fort used by Julius Caesar. So 2,000 years worth of history over there by this busy road just off the London Loop. Okay, so leaving that beautiful valley behind, now climbing back up through this woodland, heading up to Keston Common, and then Keston, where I hope there's a pub for lunch. And here we have the impressive driveway to the current Holwood house, which I understand is apartments, so if you've got enough money you could live there. Amazing trees lining this driveway. But our route takes us up there towards the pub at Keston. And here, safely protected behind this wire mesh, is the Wilberforce seat, and behind me the Wilberforce oak, erected to commemorate, of course, William Wilberforce, the famous campaigner against the slave trade, who we have met previously. Check my video on Wanlip, where the Wilberforces were guests at Wanlip Hall with their fellow abolitionists. So there we are, link between the London Loop and Wanlip, just down the road from me in Leicester. So that's the original Wilberforce oak, which blew down in the big storm in 1987. So they replaced it with this one that's only 20 years old but looking healthy. Maybe in 200 years it'll be as ancient as the one that blew down. Plunging back into the woodland, according to the guidebook we're at one of the highest points of the loop at 550 something feet. And now we're going to go level for a bit towards Keston Country Park, Keston Ponds. See you there. And here we have Caesar's Well. I guess it's something to do with Caesar. Maybe when he was visiting that Iron Age fort at Holwood House, he came down here for a drink. Anyway, we're going to go down that path there and have a look at the ponds. And here they are, Keston Ponds. Just a nice little place to come and sit on a Sunday afternoon. Car park round the corner. And a nice place to walk past on the London Outer Orbital Path. Although if you do walk past it, certainly when it's been raining, be prepared to get muddy feet. This is the third of the ponds, much more natural, fewer people sunning themselves and fishing. And now we're going to head for Keston itself for lunch. What a glorious walk this is turning out to be. Emerging now from that managed countryside into the tendrils of Keston village. See the path's already tarmac. School to my left and back into suburbia. Let's try this place out. Well, I can thoroughly recommend the Greyhound in Keston. Very, very nice lunch. Cheap beer as well. If you're doing the loop, make sure you check this place out. Final stage of today's walk, West Wickham Common. We're a mile from Hayes Station, which is the end of this section. So a little stroll through here, then train back to London. So they preserved a little bit of what the common used to be like in the middle of West Wickham stroke Hayes, just to give the dog walkers a flavour of it. Pretty impressive. So we're descending now from that high point with that nice view towards Hayes, where we finally split off from the main path to find the station. So nearly at the end of this glorious section 3 of the London Outer Orbital Path. So there we are, just walking down Station Hill towards the station at Hayes. That's Hayes, Kent. What a wonderful walk. What a wonderful section 3 of the London Outer Orbital Path. Hope you join me on the next section. See you then. For now, bye bye.